Hello, this is Shamrandi from Life Design Topics, and I'm so glad you're able to catch this video. Somebody shared it with you. Thank them. Sometimes we kind of have to have certain topics rolled over, passed on, reevaluated personally, and it helps us immensely with processing challenges that we're going through. So this particular topic today that we're going to talk about is mind screwing. You know, this is something that it's a common problem, and the other issue is that it's so multifaceted, right? It can be housed it's like part of dealing with a narcissist. It is definitely a big part of really toxic relationships. It doesn't even have to be a interpersonal romantic relationships. Sometimes it happens between friends, especially if you have those kind of friends that know how to they're cunning, right? They know how to use they know how to use your weak point to control you. So you got to be careful with the mind screwing. This specifically, I'm going to read portions of something that I read, and I'm going to give you my reply to it. Okay? Yes, that's how we're going to, it's like when I got to this point, I said I have to do a video about it because a young woman messaged me after I put a reply in, and I told her, I said, you know what? I'm going to make a video about it and I'm going to send it to you. So don't you love the nice beginnings? We love the sweet beginnings, right? Got to enjoy the process. So my name again is Shamrandi from Life Design Topics. I'm an interior designer, and in part of in doing interior design consulting, helping people to kind of work through personal issues, it made my job so much easier. So I actually took a lot of recounting and thought about all of the counseling I have done. I want to say since high school. So it's just come second nature. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. All right. But it is totally possible to speak with me and to roll thoughts over. Okay. So please subscribe here to the channel. Please subscribe here to the channel. Like the video, and share. Okay. And the other thing you can do is you can join the group here on Facebook. It's called Life Design Topics. All right. So a lady had asked for some kind of advice, and she has a spouse. She's a newlywed. She has a spouse, and you know how everybody is we are just totally technically driven, okay, for everything. So he's in contact with this distant cousin. She's not like once removed. She's a little bit more distant than that, and she's not like his first cousin or anything like that. And every time she needs a man's input, or she wants to bounce an idea off of a man, or, some women, we just need that touch of testosterone every now and then, she goes borrowing this lady's husband. Okay. Now it is happening, totally under the guise of them being related. And then the other issue, and I think that this is what's bothering the woman that has the complaint so much, is that her husband, he's not putting any real limits to how far that other person has access to him. That's the first thing. The second thing is he's not speaking to his woman in love to figure out what's making you question what this is about. Okay. His replies to her is oh, you're just being jealous, and you're jealous. And this is the kind of conversation, and it causes him to flare up and they have an issue. This is not a relationship that is going to go far. Let's talk about the end. Okay. It is going to end badly. And if it never ends, she is going to be so angry at herself that she stayed as long as she did. That sucks. I'm hearing pitter patter of little feet. So that part of it totally sucks. It is okay, it's wrong for me to feel bad, and then you're speaking to me in a bad way about it, and then I'm not ever totally able to fully process what this is. And then before I can even reel or heal from this connection that I feel slighted about, it's like, here it comes again. So she's constantly dealing with this to the point where she's seeking advice. Now, a moment ago I said, let's just get to the end. It's not going to end good. If she stays long, she's going to be mad at herself that she stays long. It is going to take literally the total power of God. It is going to take a lot of probably praying, fasting, and all the things that religious people do to like either be able to cope or maybe evoke change in the spiritual realm, okay? But we're going to deal with the factuals and the everyday. Now, I'm going to say that because she is a young woman, that's the other thing too. I want to say that she's under 30. She's under 30. There was something that told me how old she was, and I don't remember. And I'm just so annoyed for her. You know, she's, you know, her in situations where she's looking at it is like, he doesn't see why, you know, and then he's telling her that she's this and that. And I'm like, wait a minute. In my mind, I'm like, oh my God, this is so triggering for me. This is so familiar for me. He is trying to find a way to point a finger at her and make her seem like this is your shit. You figure it out. No, sis. Gather your skirts and run as fast as you blasted can. That's the sum of all of the advice I'm going to give in this topic here. Huh? Because if somebody else is going to be like, oh, don't tell her to leave her husband and, you know, they can work through it. How much of your energy are you putting into working through it that you can afford? Okay? Now, this is the reason why a lot of entrepreneurial women and women that are like, you know, busy with their own careers and they find, this is why they don't have a man. This right here is why they do not have a man. We like the company of a man, okay? I enjoy the company of men. I have lovely male friends, okay? And I know that it is definitely a requirement for me personally that there has to be some kind of understanding and respect. And it's like, you cannot ignore these yellow flags, sis. It's like it doesn't end well. It's like even if it's long term, this is where people like, they get married, they get divorced after like spending 8 years together, and they get married for 1 year and then right away they get divorced. This is why. This is why, because you were actually dealing with some level of disrespect, and you were kind of like sweeping it under the rug thinking I can fix it. And then the other thing that we do, you know, especially when we have children, it's like, okay, let's make it work, you know, because of the sake of the children. I'm going to totally say that if you have children already in a situation like this, and you know that it is healthy for you to ultimately separate, I want you to let this all be a learning experience. Take your time to understand, how does your partner communicate? Because the minute it breaks down into a separation, it's like either the really ugly comes out, or they're just really calm and just happy that you're cool with everything. Okay, now, if you feel like you need one-on-one to coach you through this, to work through it, that's, you know, that's where you contact me, and you and I will have a conversation. I'm going to have the link here in the bio. And then you can, you know, you can sign up for us to have a talk about this. All right. So I'm going to go into the reply that I put, and I'm reading this verbatim because it's my own information that I put. So I said, you know, I'm more mad at your husband. This sounds like clear mind viving, like textbook people. Okay. The sad thing is these scenarios never end good. I did tell her that. It's almost a type of remote control he has over you because you're emotional about it. If you put 2 guys on your team to sweat you, you'll see his colors change. Okay. Now, a lot of men, they don't want to hear that, right? Because they're very territorial about who they with and who they feel that they have possession over. But I'm going to tell you that this is a simple case of just the sexes on how we interact with each other, okay? He is busy calling you jealous. The fact that he can even open his mouth to form those sentences and those words and accuse you, that right there is a clear sign of toxicity. Now, if you feel like, okay, maybe a lesson or two is going to fix it, maybe you want to soft sell this, enroll one of your, your flamingly, gay guy friends that have great balance, okay? Especially the ones that are like Leos and Geminis. They can switch that and turn it off really quickly. They can go from being, the most flaming, flamboyant queen ever, and they can totally tune into that masculinity that can make another man question what his position is around you. How do I know that? I don't know. I'm so tickled by that. I miss my guy friends in New York. I'm in Florida, guys. Yeah. Anyways. So, if you want to soft sell it that way. This is another reason why I feel as if that whole bring all of our friends together, man, that is going to bite you in your behind at some point. The other thing that's going to bite you in your behind, another point, and the reason I'm going to tell you why I'm bringing this up, is your man knowing every single friend that you have, and also knowing your grievances with those friends, girlfriends, guy friends, it doesn't really matter. Because what he's going to do is, this is narcissistic behavior, he is going to take advantage over the fact that there is some level of dysfunction, and there's a breakdown on full support that you can have from these circles, and he is going to take advantage of that, and the good times are going to be great. So because the good times are so great, you are going to put such a dependence, such a reliance, such a heavy shoulder that you're leaning on. You're going to put you are going to put such a demand on the sacredness that you think that your relationship has, that in turn you are going to cause damage to how those other relationships are respected and how he's going to deal with you. Because now if you isolate yourself, now you've opened yourself up to full-on abuse. Verbal, mental, all of those things come with it. If you are at a point where you know what, I'm ready to fly if this is not for me, yes, definitely open up the pathway to start dating other guys. Now, I'm going to say, because I spent such a long time in New York and I've had this conversation with other women, it's very easy to shack up with a guy in New York City, right? Cost of living is so high, and it's the rigmarole of life can be so redundant and boring. It's you think that's your little slice of happiness, and there's a dependence that happens early on if you're not careful. And I think that when you're actively dating, that you should be actively dating, actively putting people through different tests and scenarios, see what their answer is, see if they have enough drive for you. Does their drive match their drive? Does this person give you great advice? Do you feel like this person is dismissive of your feelings? So this is what this is. This is dismissiveness. This is her totally not being empowered in thinking, okay, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm seeing, this is what I'm experiencing, this is my experience, and this is real. She's not able to have such a finite thought and a finite decision on how she needs to deal with this, and I feel really bad for her. It's going to probably take a little time for her. It's probably going to be in a result of it ending badly. I know a man even commented, he was like, listen, if he's not cheating already, he's about to. Ooh, that was a man that said that. Okay, that's not me. A man said that. Let me also go into this piece of information. There's a gentleman by the name of Tony Gaskin. He is a very well-known vlogger on relationships and giving women great advice on, helping them to feel empowered and, helping them to date healthily, and especially if they're dating from, a religious standpoint and all of that, okay? And he said that in his counseling that he does, like when he's talking to the men, a lot of times the men know the toxicity that they're putting you through, okay? And it's sad. If it were women that he was connected to, he would have advised them, don't take him back, sis, run. But he said, unfortunately, because, men, they usually want to like put all their power towards, if they realize like, oh, you're done, and who knows what that, I don't understand that thought process, okay? But now they realize like, wait a minute, I got to get my girl back. I can't lose her. That's when you start seeing them with all of this, like, interest, right? So in the case where he's like advising these men, and they're going above and beyond. These men are spending a heavy check. They're enlisting all of these A-lists and all these people and all of these props to make this reconnection happen. It's like 90% of the time, women take them back. In same situations where if it was someone that was close to him and he could have advised her, like, sis, this is not your husband. If there was that opportunity to do so, that's how he would have advised them. But in those cases, most times than not, even with the awful things that these men are well aware that they are doing, 90% of the time, women take them back. I have done many a topic about this already. But hey, just be careful when you are dealing with a narcissist. Here's another tip and a point. When you're dealing with somebody that you can confirm, oh, okay, this is some narcissistic crap, this is always about him, blah, 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 blah. It's like you have to kind of become that way to function. Now, in a situation where it is a beneficial relationship for you, you have built a lot with this man, he is a great provider, that type of thing. It is definitely like a level up. Probably not in like mental smarts, but definitely like it's a hypergamous type of relationship. Then I'm going to say that you have to become like them. You have to, like, if there's something, you got to play it up. You got to go above and beyond. You're going to have to play their game against them. Okay. Now, if you're a woman that is like after my own heart, okay. Like, I have little boys to worry about. Like, the last thing I want to do is like have to put myself in situations that are not working for me, right? Like, at this time of my life, I am absolutely dating with purpose. And it's just that my focus is clear. My focus is clear, and because my focus is clear, it's like it allowed me to realize, like, okay, this is how much of this I can take. This is how much conversation I want to have with this, and have the multiple situations. You have to. There has to be, a few potentials. There has to be a few potentials, okay? So when you've gone through this level of, being abused and the mind screwing, the mind fucking, for, a lack of a better term, but totally illustrates what it is, you might have to do some cycles of, meditations. You may have to make some affirmations for yourself. I'm going to absolutely say that you may want to even create a little bit of distance so you could pour into your femininity. Take some time away. Go out on outings by yourself. Go have coffee. Go have ice cream by yourself. Okay? Go sit at the beach. You don't have a beach, go to the park. Take a book with you. It's cold outside. Bundle up, go for a walk. Walks are great. Taking a walk on your own is fantastic because it also allows you to be viewed in the eyes of the other person as someone that still has a lot of their independence. Like, you can think for yourself independently. You can you independently attend to your needs. Right? Take that extra time to loofah and exfoliate and moisturize. and listen to music you want to listen to. Use headphones. Like there's all these different tricks, okay, that are available to all of us now. Now, probably had I thought different, and this is what drives me to make these videos, it's like there would have been certain lessons I would not have had to go through, okay? So excuse me, this is the reason why, you know, I included in a lot of my young women mentoring and when I speak to women and things like that, because we literally like put ourselves through way more than we need to. We stay longer than we need to stay. We literally build a whole building, a multi-unit apartment building, instead of us just pitching a little tent, right? Or better yet, all we should have did was go to the beach with a little blanket and spread the blanket and hang out with him for a little bit. No, we went and bought land. We're paying property tax. We are, you know, we're doing renovations. We are, you know, we're willing, we are going full on in, you know, because somebody, you know, put their best representative forward. I want you to get to understand all of their representatives and the real person. All right? And do not stand for this, right? The minute you notice it, and if it upsets you, I want you to even speak to him and be like, hey, don't you speak to me like that. You got me screwed up with somebody else. Like, you know, he gonna have to realize like you just a little crazy. Like, Ninja, I will knock you out. You may have to do that. I wish I could tell you different. Or you just leave, sis. Because if you have to come and gather him up like that and speak to him sternly like that, the other thing that you're going to have to do is, I hope you're taking notes, or just rewind the video and watch it again. You are going to have to pay attention. Make a note. If you use like an app for like, if you use an app for like your flow, your menstrual flow, maybe you could put a note in there and see like, okay, this is what I noticed when this happened this month. And see if there's a pattern. How soon again do you have to gather him up again? If that has to happen twice within a year, you're in that relationship way too long. Forget about trying to recoup shit. Like, don't do that, okay? One piece of advice my mom, God rest her soul, Ashay, one piece of advice that she gave me was, as long as you have breath in your body and health in your body, you can start over. You can even if you have nothing, you can start over. You can start over. You are strong. You're built for it. You can do it. Okay? Because it is going to be way more valuable for you to pour into yourself and renew and rejuvenate and you know, reimagine who you are and start all over again. Put your best foot forward. You know, identify what happened in the past. Take the time to go through the process of healing, forgiving yourself, you know, and then you move forward, and then you meet somebody great, right? But you're going to have to do some self-healing, especially if you've been going through years of relationships like that. All right, I'm going to end it there. So if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. I will appreciate you. I'm in Florida, and like where my office space is, like it's like portioned off from like the rest of where I live. It's like it gets hot here certain times of the day. The little ones are here. It is like so hard to get certain things done early in the day. So here I am baking because I have to make this video for you. Stay blessed. Take care. And the link is going to be in the bio if you want, you know, counseling one-on-one with me. Take care. Bye-bye.